Hey, it's Emily with your weekly horrible fact about your legal system. Get this. The fastest growing demographic in American prisons is also the group of people who are least likely to commit any crimes if they were sent home. And those same people are the most expensive to incarcerate. That's right, I'm talking about older people in prison. There are 5 times as many elders in prison now as there were 30 years ago. And because prison is a horrible place to grow old, each one of those folks costs you, the taxpayer, 3 times as much to incarcerate as anybody else in prison. What is going on here? Yes, police are arresting more older folks because older folks are increasingly represented in groups targeted by police, like unhoused people, people with substance use, mental health disorders, or cognitive disabilities. But we're really seeing decades of bad policy catching up to us. Policies that keep people locked up way longer than America ever used to lock people up, and basically strip away any opportunity for smart early releases. So the things that are keeping people locked up longer are things like mandatory minimums, which basically strip judges of the ability to offer lower sentences, even when a lower sentence would be appropriate. Or, this is a really tricky phrase they came up with, truth in sentencing provisions, which mean that even if a person is appropriate to come home sooner, they still have to serve 85% of their sentence no matter what. On the other side, the ways we used to bring people home early are basically not being used. One huge one is parole. Parole has atrophied, and actually really weirdly, boards of parole are less likely to let out older folks than younger folks, which makes no sense because the recidivism rate on average for Americans is about 50%, but for older folks, only 1 to 4% of them will be rearrested if released. They're super safe to release. Other mechanisms like clemency, compassionate release, also often being controlled by executives who are afraid of criticism from voters or boards of parole who don't like to let people out. Make it make sense.